What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today I'm training with Arthur, who is basically pretty much the national photographer on local bodybuilding shows, and I think about 75% of my stage pictures that you see on my Instagram have been taken by him, because he's a very good photographer for sure. And he's always hosting Bodybuilding United, which is kind of like an event in the Netherlands where the top amateur bodybuilders of the Netherlands, like everyone who is a top guy in the bodybuilding scene or girl, goes there and they train, and I'm one among them, and they train a group of people. So usually Arthur is the one organizing it, but this time I am training him to train chest. As chest is one of my better body parts, he wanted to know how to properly train it the old school way. And I'm always training it old school for sure. He wants to do a competition himself next year, and so do I. So we will be motivating each other along the way, along with many other Dutch bodybuilders. But this is a great personal training that I'm giving him. So we're starting out with the bench press. A real classic exercise, of course, going down all the way to the chest, stretching out those chest muscles, those chest fibers, and then going all the way up. And what I told him as well is you gotta warm up properly, because if you go too heavy too fast, make one mistake and you rip your chest off, you hurt your shoulder, you get the injuries. You don't want that to happen, because especially now that we're going quite heavy with the bench press, you will want to have fresh, warm blood in those muscles to help you lift those weights and to help lubricate everything: the fibers, the joints, the ligaments, and the muscles. So basically what we're going to do, and what we just did, is a couple of sets working up to our heaviest set, and then from the heaviest set we're going to do 2 drop sets. So this is set number 4. This is my last set, to which I will go to failure, and once I hit failure we will remove some weight from each side of the bar and then keep going. This is the best way to pump fresh blood into those chest muscles, get the best pump possible, because I got a lot of people asking me and telling me, hey, I'm doing the bench press, but I cannot seem to get a good pump in my chest. I cannot feel my chest when doing this exercise. Well, trust me, do some full range of motion, well-formed drop sets like this, and you will feel it in your chest for sure. And the one photographing me is actually Arthur's girlfriend, and she always takes pictures at the Bodybuilding United events, and they look great as well. So this is the second drop set, and it's really getting heavy right now. I can really feel the burn and the pump and the blood rushing into the muscles, and that's what you want to feel if you want to make that chest grow. The bench press, in my opinion, along with the incline bench press and the bodyweight dips, stuff like that, are the best exercises to get great chest growth and chest development. And one other thing, you gotta know your limits. When you're working out with someone who is stronger than you, don't pick a weight that is way too heavy for you just because someone else is picking a heavier weight. Especially when going to do a lot of sets like this, a lot of drop sets, a lot of heavy sets, you don't want to go too heavy, because you might hurt yourself when it's not necessary at all. It is all about what the muscles feel, not what you perceive as being heavy, what your muscles perceive as being heavy, and that is what you should aim for. So don't worry about the numbers you're pushing, worry about the feeling in your chest itself. And as you can see right here, when you go to, when you do 2 drop sets, you really did all the sets right. Even a weight like this is pretty heavy already, and then you know that you're doing the right thing in terms of training. If you still have a lot of energy left right here, if you can still do 20 reps unassisted, you know that you did something wrong, because it's all about fatiguing the muscle right here. That is really the goal of drop sets. Then the second exercise, the incline bench press. And what I told Arthur here is put the bar right beneath your chin to the upper side of your chest. because this is a unique exercise in a way that you can feel the stretch in that upper pec like you can with no other exercise. So you don't want to go too heavy with this one either, because it's impossible to go heavy. Your arms are wide, so your tricep strength is diminished. You really got to put it all from your chest, and your chest by itself, without your arms being able to assist as much, isn't as strong as you think. So just don't go too heavy. Focus on the form if you want fully developed pectoral muscles. And right here you can see that my pecs are moving, which is why they are being touched, but they are actually moving along with the exercise, with the movement, which is exactly what is supposed to happen if you're doing it right. You see right there, it is contracting, you guys, and stretching, and that is when muscle growth and the pump occurs. So again, drop the bar right underneath the chin, right to the upper side of the upper chest, and then you will get the most supreme chest stretch you have ever felt, to really develop the chest not only on the bottom but also on the very, very top, as you can see right there. And these are actually paused reps. So this is the last exercise. I lowered the weight a little bit and I'm pausing at the bottom, removing all the momentum out of the movement, focusing purely on my chest strength, focusing purely on that contraction and nothing else. So the first exercise we did drop sets, and the second exercise we did some pause reps. Two great ways to get a very, very good pump in the chest. And now a really great way to stretch out the chest even more and to hit those muscle fibers you couldn't hit with the bench press is the laying dumbbell flies. This is a great one to really feel the chest in a way you've also never felt before, if you do it right. What you can see right here is that the dumbbells don't go near each other at all. It is really all about keeping the tension on the muscles, because if the tension is lost, that part of the movement is wasted. The time under tension is gone. You want the time under tension to be maximum, and you want the progressive overload to be maximum as well. The moment you lose tension at the top, there's no loading muscle, there's nothing happening. So what you want to do is you don't want to let the dumbbells touch each other at all. You want to go up until you feel the tension about to slip away, and then you go back down. No mercy on yourself. This way you cannot go heavy at all, but again, it's not about what you perceive as heavy, it's about what your muscles perceive as heavy. So now we basically did 3 exercises, and they all were pretty much stretch related. So the bench press stretches out the muscles, the hands are wide apart, the incline bench press stretches, and of course the dumbbell fly stretch as well. But at least I want to have one exercise that really pumps up and contracts that muscle. Of course it's all emphasizing, because every exercise you stretch and contract, but this one specifically squeezes those pectoral muscles together, as is clearly shown right there. So what this exercise is 8 regular reps, a horizontal grip rep on the chest press, and then 8 reps with the hammer grip press. And that way you will hit every single muscle fiber you could possibly squeeze in those pectoral muscles, which is going to give you an incredible pump. Again guys, bodybuilding is about hitting different angles on every single exercise. On every single workout you want to hit every angle you possibly can, so that you hit all those muscle fibers that you possibly could miss if you only stick to a regular bench press, a regular dumbbell press. You really got to play with the tools that you got. And in my opinion, this chest press is unique because it keeps the pressure, it keeps the tension on your chest all the way to the top. And even when you're fully stretched out with your arms like that, you can still squeeze the chest incredibly hard, feeling the burn and the lactic acid building up, which is what it is all about. And in my opinion, going to pretty much failure on every exercise, at least the last set, is really advantageous to muscle growth, but only, guys, only if you have your rest and your nutrition down to a T. If you don't, you might overtrain You know, I don't like that word, but you might actually train so much that the recovery that you need in between workouts is increased. But if you optimize your recovery by sleeping enough and eating proper, eating exactly what you need, supplementing on top of that, your recovery is adamant enough for you to go to failure every single time. And I simply like to train like I'm going to die, like my life depends on it. And that way, I've trained all my life for 10 years, and that has always worked for me until now. So, right now, we are finishing off the chest with the body weight dips until failure. Yes, until failure again. And with failure, here I mean, you see right there, I cannot go all the way up anymore, so you might as well just stop that set. Because if you keep going, you will only put stress on the shoulders, on the triceps, on every single muscle that you don't want to put the stress on. You only want to put the stress on those pectoral muscles. And this is a great way to develop the lower portion of the chest, which is going to give you that gorilla Arnold chest. So don't only focus on the upper chest like a lot of guys do, but also focus on the lower chest, because that part actually grows the easiest. It is the biggest, and if that grows, the rest will look bigger as well. So what I like to do is I like to go about 90 degrees. You see my arms sticking about 90 degrees, a little lower, to stretch out the chest and going all the way up until I feel like I cannot go up anymore. Just a natural movement going until failure. If you do it at the end of the workout, it shouldn't be a problem that you go to failure at all. So you won't be messing around with 30 reps, about 15 reps on the first set, 10 reps on the second set, and less than that on the third set if you had a very good workout that pumped and fatigued your chest. So now it is time for some V-bar pushdowns, and I like these in the way that I'm doing them right here. So normally I will be standing up straight, pushing the weight down straight, pushing the handle down straight, but this time I really want to work on the long head of the triceps as well. If you look at my tricep, you can see the small head contracting, but what is stretching a lot is the long head. So this is a great way to combine both of those heads in the same exercise, because the moment I go up above my head, it becomes an overhead press basically, and it really focuses on the long head, which is what I want to work on. The small head is pretty good in comparison to the rest, but I really want the medial head and the long head to grow so that my triceps actually match my biceps, which is what bodybuilding is all about. Proportions and symmetry. And then the last exercise of today, the rope pushdown plus an overhead with the rope. And this again, first focus on the small head of the triceps like this, going down, going up slowly and going down pretty explosively, making sure to pull my wrists apart, focusing on that small head, and after doing 8 reps, I'm going to do the overhead rope extension, which focus on the long head more. But again, you really want to push apart those wrists to really focus on the maximum contraction you could possibly have. And the stretch behind the head, over the head, really ensures you focus on the long head again. So if you have a weak tricep, you really want to work on the long head, as that is the biggest portion of the tricep that can grow. And when that grows, your entire arm will look that much better and bigger. And by the way, guys, do not forget, everything I'm wearing right now, along with everything in the Vintage Genetics apparel store, is for 15% off using the XMUS15 code, which is in the description of this video. You can only use it until the end of this year, which is only a couple more days, so make sure to take advantage of it now if you are interested. Anyway, guys, I had a great workout with Arthur. He thought it was great as well. We talked about a lot of things, including nutrition, about which I will actually make a lot more videos. I want to thank you for watching, and do not forget to stay golden.